As we're going into 2025, well, I say going, but we're already like 4 months in. I started to wonder, was Valek's love actually any good? High schooler Takuma Akatsu is terrified of human contact and just wants to live a quiet life. Too bad he doesn't have a choice in the matter when 9 Valkyrie sisters come barging into his home. They tasked him with raising their levels so they can fight off the monsters that threaten humanity. But how will he do that exactly? By getting down and dirty to the max. This was a series that I ended up picking up back in 2015 on a whim pretty much, and it's kind of stuck with me since then, and I've been collecting the volumes pretty much since 2015. I picked this up when I was looking for more High School of the Dead and some other things, so you might be able to tell a theme with this manga once I start describing it and the pictures start showing up all around me. The story follows our MC Takuma. Who has a scary face and has been like that since he was a child. He was shunned by his classmates and only able to attract attention from such people as like gangsters and thugs and yakuza and stuff of that kind, you know? This resulted in him in developing social anxiety, unable to properly converse with people around him. The fact is, this fact and his scary face only proceeded to exaggerate his bad reputation, and he was known as a demon himself. One day, Takuma ends up saving Natsuki and receives a revelation from Odin, the god of Asgard, the god and lord of Asgard, that the world will end soon, and it's on Takuma's shoulders to save the world. And to help him with his mission, Odin sends down 9 daughters, the 9 Valkyries, down to Midgard, which is referred to and basically Earth, aka where we live now. He is to prove his love to save the world, as it is said to be the source of a maiden's strength is love. So you have our main character, Takuma. He's a very kind, sweet, gentle boy, but because of his face and demeanor, people run away from him, get scared, teachers get scared, like big mean teachers, they are completely scared of him. Anyone walks by him, they are super scared. When in reality, he's just a super sweet guy and just wants to be normal and have a normal life. Well, unfortunately, because of all of this and making classmates jump out windows because of how scary he is, he ends up just developing himself and pushing himself into classwork and focusing on schoolwork and stuff like that, because he feels normal in that sense that when he does schoolwork, he's not being judged. He can just do what he wants and enjoys it. So the manga starts, like I said, with Takuma going through school, but you end up finding out about these 3 different ladies. One being Natsuki, who I mentioned before, but she's like the shining angel in Takuma's classroom. She is the angel that everyone looks up to, finds her a beautiful, well-stunning person. Then you have the president of the student council, Itsuyo. She is wonderful. She's amazing. People really look up to her because she's studious, beautiful, and she can do a lot of other things. And then you have an idol in the school, Mitsumi, who is on TV doing a bunch of different things, out singing, dancing, and she's like the idol of the school. So you have all these classmates looking up to these girls and just fantasizing about them, really looking up to them, talking them up. And then you just have Akuma just walking around and people wishing he would just disappear and putting him down really, really bad. And he just, it makes him upset and sad that he can't interact with them normally. But after school gets done, you end up seeing him come home to find these girls in his house undressing. And I just want to say right now, these manga volumes get very dirty and very lewd very fast. They do a lot of things from touching breasts to like stripping down naked and spending time pressed against Takuma. All these things that he's not really used to, but it's the power of love. And they go on dates and do a lot of other things with Takuma. And it's just very weird for him. He's not used to that stuff, but he has to do this for Odin so the world has a chance to survive. So as you see these girls undressing, you see the class prez rub up against him. Itsuyo just trying to get him to call her by her first name, trying to build up these points, because when they do romantic stuff and do very intimate things, they earn XP points, which helps level the Valkyries up, lets them get stronger and stuff of that nature. As they're sitting there yelling and screaming, a lot of etchy hijinks ensue, and you see panties get ripped off. He ends up getting in awkward positions, and the girls get, pissed off. You know how this stuff goes. But then you come across a couple of the other sisters. You come across against Misa, who is an older one. You come against Yakumo, who is younger. I think she's in middle school. And as you go through the house, he sees that, oh no, my house that I've been left and, I take care of is now taken over by 9 women. And, he should probably do something about it. But then he realizes that Futama and then Kuriri is there, and the people overtake, you see the hijinks and the like cool atmosphere between them unfold, and you see how they all actually interact with each other, how they interact with Akuma and Takuma, I can keep getting his name confused. But you see that they have to go on dates, and then that's what happens between him and Natsuki. They have to go on a date, so they have to go on a date holding hands, go through town, and just doing stuff. While she doesn't really mind and is kind of embarrassed, this is a living hell for him, and you really see that anxiety truly unfold from him. You see how, like, it truly is in depth, and you see that, like, some words from Odin really resonate with him, that the source of a maiden's strength is love. So he's trying his best, trying to get through, trying to put up with this living hell that he is dealing with. But while they're on their date, they see this giant monster start rampaging the town, and people start freaking out, and they keep yelling, a demon's taking place. Well, that's when Natsuki has to, like, get her powers going, has to, like, step up and take care of things. Well, they were able to find some private spot to where they ended up stop hand-holding, and she just ripped her, like, her clothes off and started, like, they did 30 seconds of chest holding. This was, of course, after he ended up saving her, because there was a giant tower falling on her and she was walking away saying, I don't need you, I can activate my powers on my own. Well, Takuma ends up diving and saving her life. He ends up risking it all to save her and protect her, to make sure she is okay. And that's when it really hits her. She's like, he's not a weakling. He said he'll do whatever he can. And my body just moved on my own. So I know I needed to protect you. And throughout all of it, because how it actually all ended up happening before is Takuma actually ended up saving her before, which is how Odin ended up, you know, finding her. But you find out later on in the end of Volume 1 or going into Volume 2 on how that actually happened. So you see him risking it all just to protect her and being a real hero that he is. Well, and that's where you end up getting into the undressing scene, and you see he's sucking up this this awkwardness because he's not used to this, let alone human contact. And for 30 seconds he ends up holding her chest, to which activates her powers. And it's just, you see the action scenes. I will say the action scenes are pretty good. You see her blow through this demon like it was no tomorrow. You see her activate her Valkyrie skills and get a sword, start slicing this person into 1,000 different pieces. And you just see it all unfold. And unfortunately, while this is still something he deals with, he always thinks back to how he just ended up moving on his own and ended up saving Natsuki on his own and just ending up being able to help save the world. And more hijinks ensue, where the next 3 chapters mainly focus on him going on a date or doing something with the other 2 sisters I mentioned before, the idol and the president of the school. So my thoughts on this: while it's a pretty solid story, and I like the idea of this socially awkward boy trying to figure out himself, having to do what he has to do to help these people level up, it's great. But they really bank on the etchiness, the pure naughtiness of this book to get it across. They could do plenty of things that are not sexualized, but it's still an okay story. So, like, overall, would I recommend this to someone in like 2025? Probably not. But if you really like the etchiness, the actionness of High School of the Dead, which I did a video on not too long ago, I would probably say then this would be up your alley. There's a lot of solid action. There's a lot of things that are very good in this book that would apply to you if that goes up your nature. But me as a reader nowadays, that stuff doesn't really, you know, tickle my fancy. I mean, yeah, I like a little bit of etchiness here and there, but not constantly in your face. Not like, all right, now we're just going to strip naked, not that kind of stuff. I don't really like that stuff nowadays. It just shows that my taste as an anime reader has evolved. And I will say, as the volumes go on, it calms down a little bit, but when they do it, stuff goes to the extreme. So it's kind of like a give and take later on in the volumes. But would I recommend this to someone in 2025? Nah, I really wouldn't. Like I said, unless you really find stuff like High School of the Dead up your alley, then I would probably recommend it. But to, like any regular manga viewer, I would not recommend this. If you cannot find the manga for some reason, the anime is out. They had a 12-episode anime that covers the first like 4 or 5 volumes, I believe. 3, actually, I think it's like 3 volumes up to volume 3 it covers. So, I mean, you could always give that a shot if you want. So, let me know what you guys think about this, because the pictures were plenty. Like, the art style, it's, you know, I like it, the art style. It's pretty cool. And they approach the bodies of the people and the women very realistically. And I appreciate that. But there had to be a lot of detail and research that went into designing the female bodies and as well as Takuma's. So take that how you want, but let me know what you guys think of this story. Would you recommend Val X Love to someone in 2025? Because yes, horniness carries, horniness sells, but that's not what a story should just be about, you know? So let me know what you guys think. I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.